Okay, the next point was vacillation. That is, wavering back and forth. There would be times when I would come to a fork in the road of my life, and then I would have to make a decision. I would waver back and forth. For example, I had some difficulties in my marriage. I remember I would stand at the fork in the road and I'd look in one direction and I'd say, things have gotten really bad. Nobody should have to put up with this stuff. I'm going to get a divorce. Then I'd look at the other side and I'd say, oh, but I really love him. We've had all those years together, all those years invested. I'm going to keep trying to make it work. Then I would look at the decision I had to make and I would base my decision on which path offers the least pain. I'd look at the decision to get a divorce and I'd say, well, let's see. I'd have to meet a whole new social circle and I'd probably start dating again. I knew there'd be new feelings of insecurity. I knew there'd be new forms of loneliness. I'd probably have to fill out my own income tax forms and I didn't know how to do that. So there was pain involved in that decision to get a divorce. Then I looked at the other side and I said, well, I'll stay in this marriage and I'll keep doing my part and I'll keep trying to make it work. But I knew there was pain involved in that decision too. There were real struggles there. I think that being in relationships is the hardest thing that we do. There are struggles inherent in each individual relationship based on the personality differences of the two people. In addition, we grapple with the differences between men and women, especially in our society. The expectations of what it means to be masculine or feminine are blurred beyond recognition. I struggle to become the type of woman that I think God calls me to be. I want to learn how to be soft but not weak, to be competent but not tough, to be strong but not cruel. I see some men grappling with a similar difficulty, how to be strong but not dominating, how to be tender but not weak. All of us face these difficulties, for we are all dealing with relationships in one way or another. Some of us are struggling with a relationship. Others of us are running away from relationships. Either way, relationships shape our lives. When I decided to stay in my relationship and make it work, I hoped that it would get better, and fortunately it did. But realistically, I knew that it might be a while before it got better. It was going to be really rough to work through our issues. There was no doubt about it. It was going to be painful to stay in my marriage. I'd go back and forth saying, which path offers the least pain? But as time went by, I realized that pain was an inevitable part of life. Both paths have pain. Every path has pain. Of course, some pain is avoidable, and for that, I want to avoid it. I want to do everything I can to avoid or minimize pain. Much of the pain in my life was caused by my own inappropriate behavior or attitudes, unhealthy living patterns. As I discovered ways to change those, I minimized a great deal of the pain in my life. But in the meantime, no matter how much I change, there will still be some unavoidable pain in life. When I realized that there would be pain either way, it freed me from the compulsion to choose the least pain. There is going to be pain either way. I might as well accept the pain. Also, I realized that some of the most painful things in my life have been used by God to produce growth in me, a strengthening of character. That realization also freed me from a fear of pain. I saw that pain can have a value. Not that I seek it out, but for unavoidable pain, I am no longer afraid because I know that God can bring good out of evil. So now I've changed my perspective. When I face a fork in the road of life, I say, which path offers the greatest opportunity for my growth and development as a person? That's a whole different perspective. It's not based on fear. It's based on moving into opportunity. The avoidance of pain is a reaction to pain. The choice to move into growth is an action that I take. I don't want to just react. I want to act. See, there's the active and passive again. The act of choice is always more fully human.